So we're going to go ahead and get started while people join the meeting. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the December ROSC Council meeting for the Livingston County ROSC. We are glad you're here and hope everyone did have a great holiday. I'm going to get my slides up for everybody real quick. And so we're going to start off as usual with some introductions today. So we're going to do names, your organization or affiliation, and what is a special holiday tradition you look forward to each year. And so name, organization, special holiday tradition that you have that you look forward to. And I can start. My name is Autumn. I'm a community health specialist working on the Livingston County ROSC. And a special holiday tradition I look forward to is I get together with all of my mom's side of the family, so cousins, grandparents, aunts, and uncles on Christmas Eve. And everybody's super just really busy. So if it's not this day, we might not see each other for the whole year. So it's always fun to get to see a lot of family. And then I will just go down my screen. John, can you share next?
Absolutely. My name is John. I'm the community health specialist for Livingston County ROSC and very happy to be here with our council and others today. And the Christmas kind of tradition thing, I shared this with some of you on the screen yesterday. My grandchildren do hide the pickle thing on the tree or throughout the house. And then my adult children, about, many decades ago now, started playing with a little Gonzo figure from the Muppets, and they hide Gonzo. And we found Gonzo in some crazy places and over the years. And my adult sons break into the house and look for Gonzo till they find it and then hide it from their brothers. And I work in my basement and I'll hear these big clump feet upstairs, and it's like, okay, one of them popped in on their break or came here after their job or whatever, and they're looking for that gonzo and they're going to hide it in some very unique place. So it's a little strange, but it's a lot of fun. So thank you.
That is so fun. Carrie?
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Knapp. I'm the Associate Director of Community Health with Chestnut, as well as the Program Supervisor for Livingston ROSC. So it's great to see many of you on this call today. Similar to John, my siblings and I also do hide the pickle every year, but my mom always organizes some fun competitive games for us adult children and our significant others. So there's usually some bruising or minor injuries at the end of all of it because we're all very competitive and we take it very seriously each year. But it's a fun bonding experience and something we always look forward to.
Awesome. Nikki?
Everyone, I'm Nikki Meyer, the Technical Training Specialist with Chestnut Health Systems. I work on the statewide ROS team and also the Center for Community Engagement. My fun little thing that we do is my family is from Italy. Like my mom is only a first generation American, and they make gucciadatas, which is an Italian cookie, and we only make them over Christmas. So I look forward to eating our gucciadatas every year.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Cami?
Hi, everyone. I'm Cami Garrison. I'm the technical assistant for Region 3. My favorite holiday tradition, I said this yesterday as well, is the girls in my family, cousins, aunts, grandmothers, the females. We get together and have a baking day. And it's kind of morphed over the years where we do less baking and more just having a little party. And we order pizza and we eat snacks. And, we might bake something, but that's really secondary at this point.
I love that. I like how it's changed over time. Shane?
Yes, I am the new supervisor for the Bloomington and LaSalle Doors offices. So I've only been in the position since October, but I have been working for Doors 11 years in vocational rehab and then 14 years in home service program. I'm also involved with blind services and all of that. My favorite holiday tradition is going away from the family and going snowmobiling for hours and hours and hours.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Where do you go snowmobiling?
My mom lives in Land O'Lakes, Michigan, so pretty much the entire Upper Peninsula.
Oh, that's probably beautiful.
Yeah, we're hoping this year, we did it quite a few years ago. There hasn't been snow, but we're hoping this year to go to Sault Ste. Marie and pack our saddlebags and backpacks and ride all the way over to Duluth and back again.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
Hey, I have a quick question. Since I'm not from your area, can you tell me what DOORS stands for?
of course. DOORS is the DHS Division of Rehab Services. So it used to be ORS, DORS, DRS. They've changed the name quite a few times. But the program involves anybody with a disability who wants to get a job, anybody with a disability who needs home services or in danger of immediate nursing home placement. We also have Bureau Blind Services that help people who are newly blind learn how to use a cane, use a support dog, use tactile stickers and things throughout their household to learn how to dress for themselves, eat for themselves, all of that. We also have disability determination, which helps people with Social Security be determined. Um, and there's two more divisions under or within our division, bureaus within our division, but I can't remember what they are right off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Jessica, can you go next?
Hello, I'm Jessica. I'm a community health intervention specialist. I'm working under the BASE project for Chestnut Health Systems. And I grew up in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, specifically Vernon Hills. So I always look forward to traveling up there and spending time with many different family members and friends.
Wonderful. Crystal?
Sometimes my sound works, sometimes it doesn't. My name is Crystal Little. I'm the health educator at the Livingston County Health Department. And probably as my kids have gotten older, my favorite tradition is our gingerbread house competition. It used to be something we just did together, but it's turned into a competition, and it's pretty funny. They have started gathering other things from around the house to make the best gingerbread. And I really enjoy that time with them. I just sit back and watch, and I really don't have to do anything other than clean up the mess when they're done. So,
Oh, that's so fun. Erin?
Hello, Erin Berman with Safe Journeys. I'm the prevention educator here, or I guess the prevention director now. I was a prevention educator for so many years, I kind of forgot. And probably I would say St. Nicholas Day or St. Nick Day, which I'm just realizing is tomorrow. So that means I need to get my kids some items. If you're not familiar, something I grew up with that my parents grew up with. My relatives were all from Germany, and you just put a shoe. We always put a shoe underneath our tree, or you could put it like by the fireplace or by the mantle, and you put like fruit and then like a toy. And St. Nicholas brought those overnight. So now that reminds me, I need to go to the store and get some items for my kids tonight. Even though they're teenagers, we still do it.
I'm glad that could be a good reminder. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Barb?
Hi, I'm Barb Brumlevy, and it's nice to see some familiar faces. I haven't been on a meeting for quite some time. And I am a community health specialist with Chestnut, and I'm working on the Ford County ROSC and the McLean County ROSC. And so the hide the pickle, that's one that we always do, but the one I've done since I have three kids, and my oldest is now 25. Youngest is 19, and then I have a 22-year-old. But anyway, so always Christmas Eve, we open one gift, and it's always pajamas. So they always know what they're getting. But I just get pajamas for Christmas Eve, and everybody looks forward to that. And I think they would freak out if we didn't do that. So still do it. She's already sent me pics of what kind she wants. I usually pick them out, but now it's gotten to where, they're just expecting it, but that's kids.
Yep. Never changes.
No.
Beverly?
Yes, hi, I'm Beverly. I'm Technical Assistant Specialist for Region 5. I do the same job Cami does, just a little further down the state. Um, I I guess the family tradition that I enjoy the most is after we have dinner and everything has been cleared off the table, we tend to set up games and we'll have like a game night. And I just really enjoy that, sitting with my folks and my daughter and playing those games. It's a good way to laugh.
Wonderful. Abby?
Hi everyone, I'm Abby Behrens. I'm with Brightpoint and I work with the Butterfly Project, supervising our case managers. Um, I have a lot of like childhood traditions, but as a young mom, I'm just really loving all the traditions I'm setting for my kids. So I'm of course loving Elf on the Shelf. Doing it very basic because I'm setting my expectations really low. I don't want to put too much work on myself. And I'm also looking forward to Christmas Eve. We kind of started doing like going out for Mexican for either lunch or dinner on Christmas Eve, and it's kind of like untraditional, and that's kind of what I like about it. So I hope to keep that going for my kids and just have something quirky that they will remember from their childhood. So yeah, thank you.
That's fun. Teresa?
Hi, I'm Teresa Deemer. I'm Director of the Special Initiatives at IHR Counseling here in Pontiac. And probably it's just different as you get older because you don't have your grandparents anymore, and they're kind of the glue that holds everything together. So probably my favorite things are still doing something with my dad on Christmas Eve because that's what we always did on his side of the family, and then my mom's side. We still get together on Christmas Day. So those are kind of my two favorite things. And then my stepkids, whenever it fits their schedule, they kind of pop in when they can. So, and we have a grandbaby coming next year. So I'm excited about new traditions for next year. So,
Oh, so fun. Congratulations.
thank you.
Kat?
I'm Kat Hayes. I'm the recovery specialist for the McLean County Recovery Oriented Systems of Care project. One of my favorite holiday traditions that's changed so much for me over the years, especially now living in Illinois for the last 8 years. Um, my siblings and I have done things in the past to just keep each other close on Christmas, which would be we FaceTime, we've done gift exchanges. So I'm looking forward to what that'll look like for us. I'm also kind of doing my own kind of new Christmas tradition this year. As a newly single person, I'm going to treat myself to a Christmas self-care day of being alone at home with my cat and just having a day's break, which will be nice.
Enjoy that. Julie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Julie Pullman. I also work with the statewide ROSC and I'm in Region 4. So I do the same job as Cami and Bev here. My traditions have also changed over the years, I think, as kids get older and they get married and have their own directions. But one thing that we do, regardless of, I mean, I try to be very laid back with when we're all going to get together. My middle son moved back from Denver and he started doing Christmas Day at his house for all sides of the family. So that's been very nice to let somebody else take that major work. But one thing that my husband and I do is we do homemade bread for all of our neighbors and we deliver it warm. So as each batch comes out, we will run it to them and just catch whoever's home. And it's become such a tradition that on the weekends ahead and behind, we have neighbors texting us like, hey, I'm going to be gone tonight, but if you come before 4, you can catch me. And we just think that's funny that now they're checking in to make sure they don't miss that bread. So that's kind of been a fun thing for us as adults with nobody in the house anymore.
Let me know if houses in your neighborhood are for sale, Julie. Thank you.
We'll take you. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Rhonda? Actually, yes, Rhonda's still here. And if you can't come off mute, feel free to use the chat.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, good afternoon. My name is Rhonda Looney, and I actually am a recovery support specialist with IHR Counseling Services. And I love it all. The tradition. Christmas is my favorite holiday. So, especially grandkids. This week I just set up their Lionel Christmas train. So that's always a hit for my grandsons. So, but a lot, I have a lot of traditions, baking and decorating and the whole nine yards. So I just embrace it. It's a great time of year. So
Wonderful. Jenny, we have a couple more people.
I'm Jenny Gomez. I'm community outreach worker for Carl Health. And I'm newly empty nested. So our traditions have like super changed. But I think one thing that stays constant is driving around looking at Christmas lights.
Wonderful. And then Maggie put in the chat, she's with the DeWitt County ROSC, and we're glad you're here. We have one more person who dialed in with the 815-842 number. Are you able to come off mute and introduce yourself? And if not, it's okay. Thank you guys. I know that was a little bit of a long introduction, but it's also fun to learn about your traditions and learn more about you guys outside of council meetings. So thank you for that. I'm going to share my screen again. So we have a very special guest today. We have Nikki Meyer, who will be doing a presentation for us on a really important training that she is now certified in, and she's going to tell us more about that. And so, Nikki, feel free to take it away, share your screen.
Great. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to share this opportunity with you guys today. Myself and another employee from Chestnut from our southern region went all the way to Washington, D.C. at the end of October to get the Train the Trainer certification on this training. So we're just super excited to bring it back to Illinois. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hold up there. There we go. Can you guys see the PowerPoint or the PowerPoint with the notes?
We could see it with the notes.
Okay.
Try unsharing and sharing again. Sometimes it just takes that to get correct with those.
I think I have the ability to flip it as well. How about that?
Perfect.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you for letting me get situated there for a second. So the training that we are going to talk about today is called Responding to Addiction, or I call it R2A. That's how they kind of paraphrase it when we were learning about it. So this training was made by the Addiction Policy Forum, which is based, oh shoot, I forgot where they were based. Sorry, not in Illinois. I was thinking Delaware, but that's not correct either. But so today I'm going to share with you about responding to addiction that aims to increase addiction knowledge and decrease stigma around addiction. So this program was created by Addiction Policy Forum, which is a national non-for-profit that's working to end addiction as a major health problem. The Addiction Policy Forum was created by families impacted by the disease. It was founded in 2015, and they're working in states and communities across the country to end stigma, help patients and families in crisis, and translate the science around addiction. So first, we're going to start off by watching this little video. It is actually by the creator of Addiction Policy Forum, while she explains how they got to this point of creating this training and why it's so important. Please let me know if you can't hear anything. Sorry.
My name is Jessica Holsey, and I'm with the Addiction Policy Forum. APF is a national nonprofit organization that works to help end addiction as a major health condition, and we do so by helping patients and families in crisis, working to translate the science of addiction, and make sure that we are implementing evidence-based practice. A little bit about why this is such a labor of love for me. I am an impacted family member, meaning I do this work because of how addiction has affected my family. I've been in the field nearly 30 years. And I've been working on components of this training for 6 years now. I lost both of my parents to opioid use disorder. And in particular, I lost my dad 20 years ago. Before I lost him, he called and wanted help. He was looking for treatment finally, and it was sort of that call that I had been waiting for since I was a little girl. He struggled with both heroin use disorder and crack cocaine, was homeless, and we lived in LA. I had been removed from my parents' custody and put into foster care and then placed with my grandparents, but I'd always tried to find him and help. When I got this phone call, I was like 22 years old, I think, and it was like a dream come true. And then I had to navigate the realities of how difficult it is to get help for someone you love who's struggling with addiction. I didn't understand acronyms and jargon and where to go for help. And I even worked in the field at the time doing drug policy work. So it was really eye-opening to me. Probably one of the most stressful points of my life. When I talk to folks and other families, I sort of use the metaphor that it feels like you get hit by a Mack truck in the middle of the night and you don't know where to go for help or who to turn to. There's so much stigma with this illness, so we tend to keep it secret or be really ashamed of reaching out. And then there's wrong numbers and barriers and walls that we hit when we're trying to help someone that we love. And as I've been doing this and in the field at Addiction Policy Forum, we've really tried to simplify and find all the things that we wish everyone, both family members, community members, friends, coworkers, people in healthcare, the education field, all of us need more skills and tools to address addiction. You can go get CPR trained, and if someone has a heart attack or is in distress, we can find a place to get tools to help them. We know how to go and find first aid training if someone needs first aid. What would the world look like if we created a training that can help all of us? And there's so many of us that have someone in our lives, a family member, a friend who has struggled with addiction or is struggling. What if we were all better trained to address addiction? What if we all had those tools in that toolbox so we intervened earlier and we got people the help that they need and got them into recovery and wellness? I lost my dad about 5 months after he made that phone call, so I couldn't help him. I have sort of used that, remembering every moment of that year and how difficult it was to try to help build things that I wish I had had access to back then.
There we go. All right, I really like showing that video because it kind of shows the reason behind this training and why it's so important. The comparison to how we offer first aid CPR training to everybody, so everybody can get access to care, is very similar to what the R2A training is about. It's about giving the information to everyone, whether this is a field you work in, whether you're an affected family member, or somebody in the community that just wants to be available to help. So I think that's really important. The Responding to Addiction program was developed from the Encompass training program. So Responding to Addiction is a smaller training built out of a larger training called Encompass. The Encompass program is an 8-hour training that has 8 modules in it, but they realized that we needed something a little bit more accessible. Most people don't have 8 full hours to dedicate to a training program. So that's how they created the Responding to Addiction program. So the Responding to their Addiction program is only a 3-hour training program, and it can be cut into 2. So you can do an hour and a half one time and an hour and a half another time, which is just more accessible to the average person being able to take this training. The trainings can be done in person if we want to set something up in person, or it can be done via Zoom, just like we are today. The trainings are very interactive. So it's a lot of conversation. It's a lot of type in the chat. It's a lot of videos and things like that to really keep people engaged, keep them questioning, keep them wondering, and hopefully learning something new. So here's a couple of the different things that participants will learn. They'll learn about the science of addiction, the signs and symptoms, different evidence-based treatment options, medications, and engagement strategies. Those are the big modules that are available in the Responding to Addiction training. So all stakeholders and professionals can benefit from this training, whether it be faith leaders, first responders, employers, business leaders, educators, healthcare professionals, child and family service workers, are just the few that come to mind when I think about who would benefit. But generally, I think it's anybody. Just like we want everyone to be first aid trained, this would be a great training for everyone to have in their toolbox as well. Another great thing about the Responding to Addiction and the Encompass training is that it's evidence-based and it's been studied. So in 2003, 2004, the Addiction Policy Forum and the University of Delaware conducted an evaluation on the Responding to Addiction training through a partnership with Recovery Ohio. So the study was conducted to assess the impact of community anti-stigma training, which included 213 participants who were evaluated both before and after that they participated in the training. The evaluation focused on addiction knowledge, confidence in responding to substance use disorder, and levels of stigma, including stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination intent. While looking at the results, the researchers found that addiction knowledge increased across the board. So whether you had worked in this field or this was their first time being exposed to this information, everybody walked away with some increased knowledge. Particular result found that there was an increased knowledge of substance use disorder treatment and recovery, including evidence-based medications and behavioral therapies. Understanding the signs and symptoms and levels of severity of a substance use disorder, comprehension of risk factors in the development of substance use disorders and how to prevent addiction, and general knowledge about how to engage someone with an addiction, how to start that conversation, how to be a support system, how to help them find resources in their local community. So here's some, you can kind of see the pie chart there. Manifestations of stigma, including stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination, were reduced post-intervention. The study measured tools that had already been proven reliable in previous research to assess different aspects of stigma. Participants were asked to rate their agreement or disagreement with a statement about stigma on a scale from 1 to 5, both pre and post-intervention. High scores indicate more stigma. So as you can see here, the analysis showed a significant change in responses to stigma measured before and after the intervention. Results indicated that individuals who attended the training displayed a reduction in stigma, and stigma decreased across the board for all attendees. As you can see by the chart on the slide, stereotypes went from 2.21 to a 2.07. Prejudice went down from 1.6 to 1.46, and discrimination went down from 2.33 to 2.15. Throughout the years of research within other fields, there's been a common framework that helps to decrease stigma. The framework is utilized within the Responding to Addiction training and produces the same result. Responding to Addiction provides scientific information in a variety of formats to increase literacy around addiction and couples it with contact and individuals who have had firsthand experience with being in recovery and caring for someone with a substance use disorder to decrease the stigma within the attendees. There's my contact information, so you guys can email me. So we're just excited to bring this opportunity to Illinois since this is something new. I love that it's evidence-based. I love that we can do it in one big session or we can break it down into smaller sections. We can meet the needs of the people who need it most. All right, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Nikki, can you please share a little bit more about the cost and what that would look like for folks?
Great question. So it is free. Yay. So this is a completely free training. I also love that this is one of the few trainings where it is a free participant manual. So there is a QR code that participants can scan, or if we're in person, I can print and bring, and that is something free to them. So this will not be any cost to anyone to do. Any other questions?
Will you potentially hold open to the public, like if we don't have an organization big enough to ask for a training, but just as a person we want to attend?
Yeah, so this is definitely something we're still exploring and figuring out the best way to get this out to the community. I would love to get to that stage. I don't think we're there yet, but I would hope in the future that we could get there. All right. If there are no other questions, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can take back over. And I'm going to hang out. So if you think of anything, feel free to ask me in the chat or at the end of this meeting.
Thank you. Great presentation, Nikki. Very insightful. So again, if people have want more information on that, you can reach out to Nikki and I'll put her contact information in our meeting minutes. So we will move on with our agenda. So the next thing we are really excited to announce is updates on our community survey. So our final survey has been approved by the state of Illinois and it is ready to go into the community. Thank you to the people who sent your feedback and reviewed the survey draft that we had. Your feedback is super important and did guide our final draft that is ready. So these were something you received in the meeting reminder today, are flyers for the community survey. And what I'll do next is walk a person through how do I get to the survey with this? So we wanted to make this as accessible as possible. So our community survey flyers will be dispersed in paper format and will be sent out digitally. And for a person to get to the survey, there's two options. If they have a piece of paper or their computer in front of you, you can scan this QR code right here. Otherwise, this where you see the button here, where you see here underlined, is a link someone can click to the survey. So I am going to show you all what that looks like and give you guys an example of of how to access the survey and be able to help other people. So give me just one moment as I pull up the survey. So right here, you can see this is the PDF copy of the English survey. So we have this both in English and in Spanish. So I am going to click this link here. And then what it does is it takes us to our virtual resource guide on the JotForm platform. Is everybody able to see the Livingston County ROSC community survey page?
Autumn, we just see the PDF still.
Okay, thank you. My screen sharing did not follow me, so. Okay, so can we see it now?
We sure can.
Perfect. So when a person scans the QR code or clicks the link, it will take them to this page. There's going to be two options. There's the English community survey, and then there's the Spanish community survey. So depending on the language preferences of the individual, they will click one of those two, and it directs you to a Google Forms. And so at the beginning, it tells the person the purpose of the survey. All these answers will be anonymous. So as you can see, Google can read. If you're logged into a Google account, it automatically knows you're connected, but it doesn't share your email address. So you can assure people that their information will be confidential. No one will be able to tie their identity to their answers. And so the survey will take about 5 minutes to complete, has some key definitions because some people might not be familiar with the language that for some of us is very natural. And then it's broken up. So we got 5 questions per page. And then at the end of the survey, people have the option to put in their name and contact information to be entered into a raffle for a $20 gift card, some that the Livingston County ROSC has still had available. And those people's answers will still not be tied to their survey response, but for us to be able to mail that to them, that's the best way we were able to get that. So this is what people will see if they go and do this virtually. And again, people can fill out the survey as many times as they would like. And We will also make it available for people if they would like to offer the paper form of the survey in their organization to have printouts, because some people prefer paper and pen. We will send that out in a PDF also with the meeting minutes. So you can feel free to print those, have people complete them. And then throughout the time period of the survey, John can, I'd say, hold on to those, and John can collect them periodically as he's making trips into the community. And our survey will be open until February 1st of 2025, because we know the holiday season gets busy for a lot of people, and we want to make sure we get a representative sample of the community survey and of people's responses. And so our ask is that you, with your agency, your family, your organization, your neighbors, share the survey, encourage people, maybe make it a challenge how many friends can fill out the survey, because this is very important data for us to be able to inform where the ROSC is going, what impacts we're going to make, and really what the real needs are in the community. And I will make one quick note. I will resend the flyers. There was a small typo in the English flyer, so I'd encourage you, don't pass that one along. I will resend with all of the PDFs and the copy of the survey as well for people. And so, first of all, does anybody have any questions about the survey? Okay. So the next portion of the council meeting, John is just going to review with the council just some high-level goals of the ROSC to just kind of remind us what's our mission, vision, and what we're aiming towards. So I'm going to pass it on to John.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're some time into our ROSC Council and our ROSC project in Livingston County. So just as a quick reminder of what how we started and what our goals are, the Illinois Department of Human Services Division of Substance Use and Recovery has always sought to develop the recovery-oriented systems of care, and to use that in an appropriate mix of substance use disorder services and recovery supports for every individual throughout Livingston County, youth, adults, and families, and allow all of these resources to be acceptable. So the goals from the onset, and they continue to be, build the culture of recovery. And I think we've done a very good job of that, and we wish to continue with that. We do this by creating a supportive environment for all of the people that are at risk of substance use disorders, which quite honestly, we all know if we've done this at all, that's everyone. Another goal is to build capacity and infrastructure by developing resources needed to support the ROSC, or the recovery-oriented systems of care. We want to continue to develop commitment, ensure that there is a commitment to implement and sustain a recovery-oriented systems of care in Livingston County, even when the ROSC is done and the ROSC is gone, to leave something sustainable behind, such as an RCO or a continued ROSC in some fashion that can be sustainable for the unforeseeable future. So the work that we're doing today continues into the next generations. And we do that also by involving youth now. And we're going to be looking at doing that in different ways in 2025 to finish out fiscal 25 rather. Improve health and quality of life. That is what substance use recovery and mental health issues, we need to do that to improve that quality of life, to help people achieve the recovery that they need, that they want, to provide wellness, and to allow them their choices in the matter of their health. Not just saying, it's just like what Nikki presented, not telling people what to do, but showing people how, and providing that hope in situations through all of the agencies that are represented here and agencies that we continue to bring into the ROSC, and empower the communities to provide, to have the tools to advocate and educate. And that can be stigma reduction. It can be statistics. It can be so many different things. IHR has a great program in the schools, and for us to be able to enhance that, and also with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and to offer and to show that there already are existing recovery support services in Livingston County, and continue to build on those. So the ROSC is a network of all of us to build this recovery-oriented systems of care. And the statewide ROSC, we get a tremendous amount of support by their direction. And so that's just a recap of what we've been doing and what we will continue to do. So thank you.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on what John has shared? Well, thank you, John. We always need direction. We need to know where we're aiming, so we know what we're going to be effective in. So thank you for that. So we're going to move on next to some agency updates. We'd love to hear what's been going on for each of you in your organization and anything upcoming you'd like to share with the council. And feel free to come off mute or raise your hand if your Zoom hand.
Even though I was late, I'm so sorry I was late today, guys. I'm Melissa from Lifesil, and I've been extra busy because we relocated our office. We're now on 216 North Main Street, still in Pontiac. We had an open house on Tuesday that turned out nice. I stayed open in the evening for the scavenger hunt, but it was so cold we just didn't really see anyone in the evening. That is probably our biggest news, and we currently have a fundraiser going through Cincy. If anyone is interested or knows anyone that might be interested, you can reach out to me. And we just have we're working on adjusting to the new office, and then hopefully some new ideas for 2025 because we are in a much bigger space. So, John, you will have to make sure you stop by when you're in town because I'm not at township anymore. So I look forward to seeing any of you. If you're in town, just shoot me a message. I'm here Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Who else has updates they would like to share?
Hi, I will just mention if you happen to be in McLean County, our ROSC has started an essentials drive, and there are 4 locations. And I just thought I would let that get out there, but we do have a flyer, and yeah, just 4 locations. One is Ivy Lane, which is a bakery in downtown Bloomington, and I believe it's called Bo's Books in downtown Bloomington, a Dollar General on Cottage, and the coffee house in Uptown in Normal. So if you happen to be around, and just letting you know that we are doing Essentials Drive. So thank you.
I will piggyback off that for a minute. Ivy Lane is not the correct location. It's Bob's Bay's Books, Our Favorite Things Boutique. Both of those are in downtown Bloomington.
Okay.
And then Dollar General over off of Cottage Avenue, and then Coffee House, which is in the Uptown Normal shopping district.
Can you tell us a little bit about what Essentials qualifies?
So yeah, this was an idea that was brought to us by one of our community partners, our local recovery community center, A New Horizon, which is under the umbrella of the Center for Human Services. With that, one of their staff was wanting to do a collection drive of just like essential kind of hygiene items, personal care items, like deodorant, shampoo, body wash, conditioner, underwear, socks, those kinds of items. So we're working with them over the next couple of weeks to be collecting those, to go ahead and package up into kind of self-care packages along with a handwritten note for people who are leaving treatment and are in early recovery.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And if you have a flyer that we can share with our council, Kat or Barb, can you just send it to me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Thank you. Anybody else have updates they would like to share? Any upcoming events?
I was just gonna share.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'll say. Yeah, I'm Abby from Brightpoint. Our program hosts a coalition, kind of similar, not to this, but to this, where we have someone come in and speak. We do program updates. It's a great space to learn about other resources and things like that. Ours is primarily focused on like people servicing like youth, anyone working with youth, around youth, etc. But it's a really great group. We have a ton of attendance every time. We host that at the Law and Justice Center in downtown Pontiac. Our next meeting and last meeting of the year is next Thursday. So I can put my email in the chat if you're interested in getting email invites for that. And that was the only update that I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Anybody else? If not, I will move on with the rest of our agenda. I know the holiday season in December, holiday parties might be full on your schedules, and that might be the bulk of things. And so we always like to promote upcoming trainings to better equip the council and the community around substance use, recovery, addiction, mental health. And the Center for Community Engagement at Chestnut Health Systems has a training coming up on Wednesday, January 22nd. This will be 12 to 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. via Zoom. It's called Taking Care of the Leader, Guarding Your Why to Avoid Compassion Fatigue and Burnout. So this would be pertinent to anybody who works with people, which is all of us. And a really great training. These are free. These are open to the community. You can go on to coalitionsupport.org/trainings to register. And the presenter, Amy Bethel, is phenomenal. So she's a great resource and very knowledgeable on many things. And then along with trainings, some of you on this call I know are familiar with a specific course called Mental Health First Aid. But at our team at Chestnut Health Systems, we have 2 trainers, one certified in adult mental health first aid courses, and myself who's trained to teach youth mental health first aid. So we also wanted to promote that in Livingston County, this is a training that we can bring to the community and teach people the importance of being able to identify signs and symptoms of a mental health challenge. And I know some people on this call might not be familiar too much with mental health first aid. So I have 2 videos, quick 1.5-minute videos that I will share with you. The first video is going to tell us about what adult mental health first aid is, and then the second one is youth. So this video here is specifically tailored towards a workplace setting. The adult course wouldn't be tailored necessarily to the workforce setting. It would be broad in general, but of course would be relevant for a person in their setting. And so I will share my screen again so the sound plays.
Oh, hey, Jane.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. We were just going over last week's meeting notes. And that's all I've got. Let's do great work this week, everyone.
Bye.
Mental health or substance use challenges aren't always obvious. Someone in your organization may be struggling, yet you can't quite see it. Untreated mental health conditions cost employers $47.6 billion in productivity each year. What if you could empower your workforce with the skills and knowledge to help someone who is struggling get the support they need?
We're introducing Mental Health First Aid at Work to provide more support and mental health training for each team member at every level.
Your organization can implement 1 or more courses that build upon each other so there's something for everyone. Employees will learn to recognize and respond to someone experiencing a mental health challenge through relatable workplace scenarios. It's informed by research, developed and delivered by experts, and trusted by leading companies. Create a healthier and more engaged workforce by giving your team the tools to help a colleague in need.
Mind if I join you?
I'd like that. Yeah.
Prioritize your team's mental health with Mental Health First Aid at Work.
And so that was the video for adult. And as I mentioned, it would be not necessarily with specific points towards just the workplace. It would be general, but still gets the point across of what it would be. This next video I'm going to show will give you a highlight of the youth mental health first aid. So before I start this video, I do want to warn people that it will be very explicit about challenges related to mental health that youth face. It's going to call out very specific struggles and disorders. And so if any of it feels like sensitive to you, feel free to mute your sound. It's about a 40-second video. And this actually comes from the Youth Mental Health First Aid course. So people who take that course will see this video.
Hello, Mrs. Jones.
Hey, CJ.
Coach. Emma. Mom. Last year, I experimented with painkillers, and then I started taking them every day.
174 days ago, I started intentionally vomiting after meals.
My anterior cingulate cortex has a population of overactive neurons.
Cutting my arms has become a compulsive behavior.
I started having suicidal thoughts.
Can you help me find the proper support and medical resources?
Can you help me research the best treatment facilities?
I'd love to chat with you about ideas on how to help manage this.
I love both of those videos, and it goes to show the importance of mental health first aid. And what it does is it equips us to be able to recognize the signs and symptoms of a mental health challenge in a person. No one walks away being able to diagnose or treat, but it teaches you how to respond to a person who might be experiencing those things and connect them to the proper care. If you or an organization or a group you work for is interested, these trainings could be set up for any people in the organization, any person in a community, I should say. We ideally request a minimum of about 8 people per course, just for the time of the trainer to be well used. And on average, the course costs $30 per person. This includes learning materials, but again, that could be a conversation afterwards, depending on the needs and the cost for like organizations and individuals. And these courses can be offered in 2 formats. You can do a 1-day full in-person, which is about an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. day. So we often do these on a Friday, and usually a workplace will allow their employers or the employees to go take that course. And there's also virtual options. These courses can be taught on Zoom. They can be done virtually. And they can also be broken up into a maximum of 2 days. So the course content is about 8 hours. It can either be fully in person, or it can be with pre-work and have a shortened lesson. And if you're interested and want more information about this, you can email me. My email is on the page, and I can send you more information. Does anybody have any questions specific to mental health first aid? I know at least one person on the call has been a part of a course. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. And so that concludes our meeting. And so a couple reminders. So next month, we will be having another quarterly in-person meeting. So because our normal recurring meeting time falls on January 2nd, and that's right after a holiday, the ROSC Council will be meeting Thursday, January 9th. So this will be the second Thursday of the month, and we'll be meeting at Prairie Creek Public Library in Dwight. And so this will be on their 2nd floor meeting room, and the meeting time will be 1:30 to 3 p.m. So I know several things are different than what is normal for the ROSC with time and location. So be sure to mark your calendars. We'll make sure that everybody gets an invite as a reminder, so you could block your calendar for those times. And there will be no hybrid option. So if you can join in person, you will just get updates from the meeting minutes for that meeting.
Hey, Abby, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. My voice isn't too well today. I did have a question. Do you know where you would want to hold those mental health um trainings in Livingston County?
Oh, that's a good question. So we haven't explored specific options, but everything from like a meeting space, like a library meeting space, any organization that has a conference center, we typically like to promote these to the general public. So places you can think of that are easily accessible for people. And really the only requirement would be a space that has Wi-Fi, a projector screen, and seats for people to sit in. And so in my past, we've done trainings at our local hospitals that have conference room centers, and you could do it in a workplace setting, in like a conference room at your office. So it really can be wherever. Schools, I've done them in schools before. So wherever you can think of the space. And again, it could be geared towards just the community. It could be geared towards just the employees. It can be a mix. It can be anything.
I know that most of Lifestyle got the trainings. I just wasn't able to make it to both because of being at the two different offices. So is there a way, like if I email you, that I'll be able to hop in with like a whatever group of people that you have at some point for the adult one?
Absolutely. I know McLean County they should have a schedule coming out for 2025 where they have about 10 trainings a year pre-scheduled. But I know our goal is to try and bring some of these trainings to Livingston County. So as of now, we don't have any.
Here for me.
What was that? Yeah, I bet.
For
Less
me, 'cause
driving
I'm
for
up
sure.
here 4 days. I'm down there one. So
Yeah, so at this point, we don't have any prospects, but if you have any interest, we can start a conversation and we can explore options. And as long as we get a few people in attendance, we can make something happen.
Hi, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Jolene. I'm new with Chestnut Health Systems. I'm the Community Health Communication Specialist. I apologize. I missed this call. I was on the phone with my doctor and time got away, but I did while I was on the call, I wanted to introduce myself. Apologize for being late, but say hello, and I'm very excited to work with all of you.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Jolene.
Thank you. I'm sorry it's late.
No, it's okay. Better late than never. We're glad you're here. Anybody else have any more questions? Melissa, thank you for that. We could definitely explore an opportunity potentially in the spring to just offer it in Livingston County.
Autumn, I don't have a question. I just wanted to take a minute to let most of the agencies on this screen know that I'm going to be seeing you in person in the next week or two at different places at different times. And I'm going to be hitting you up about helping us gather the survey results or gather the surveys. And I will be bringing paper copies as well as flyers to your agencies. And if you're not already involved, our subcommittee meeting is next Monday. Now, this is all ROSC subcommittees in addition that are derived from the council next Wednesday, 1 p.m. at the Livingston County Health Department. So if you want to join, if you've not been a part of that, please join us next Wednesday at 1 p.m. on the 11th. And my last comment is Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if I don't see you all before. It's a pleasure working with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John. And again, thank you everybody for joining today. I'm just going to share in case people are new or don't have this information. You can follow us on social media. You can scan the QR code to our virtual resource guide. That's where you can find our community survey as well as a lot of other resources related to Livingston County and recovery. And I'll keep these up here for a minute, our emails. And so if you have any questions about things that were talked about today, feel free to shoot us an email and we will get back to you and we can talk offline. Hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I know
Bye, everyone.
Kind of early.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.